Right. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Eric Hensel with Active Edge Chiropractic and Functional Medicine. Wanted to give you a fresh update on a great patient of ours. This patient has been having some left shoulder pain for quite some time now. He's had a couple surgeries on it and they were recommending another one to fix his shoulder again, and he was not interested in that because the first two really did not work. He also has been going to a lot of PT, some soft tissue work, massage therapy, and other things that weren't really getting him the results. He still had a lot of problems lifting up overhead and doing those motions, getting things out of cabinets and everything like that. So he came here to us to see us at Active Edge, and we did a lot of good things for him. We started with some good range of motion, some adjustments to the neck, thoracic spine, the AC joint, collarbone, and the bicep tendon, and he is progressing much faster than he has after any of the surgeries, after any of the PT, after any of the previous soft tissue work. So we love seeing those results here. That's pretty typical for us. So I'll leave it to Sam.
My issue really started maybe about 2.5 years ago. I started having some discomfort in my neck and the shoulder area. Couldn't really figure out what that was caused by. So I did what I thought was probably the right thing to do, which is, I changed out my pillow and mattress. I went to an adjustable base, things like that. It just didn't help. So November of 2016, I saw my family doctor and said, I'm having some issues. She did some dexterity tests and said, probably a good idea for you to go see a physical therapist. And so I did that for 12 weeks. Didn't help. At times it probably made it worse, I felt. So I went back to my family doctor in February of 17 and said, this isn't working. What's the next step?
So it was like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
After the initial visit.
Yeah. And so she suggested that I should go see a sports medicine doctor, and then they would figure out, what would be the best course of action for me. So I did that in March of that year. So in between, from February when I saw my doctor till when I went and saw a sports medicine specialist at OSU, I went back home. I'm originally from India, so I went back home and had an MRI done there, and that's when I found out that I had a full thickness tear in my supraspinatus. So at least that helped me figure out what the cause of my pain was. So when I met with the doctor, she viewed the MRI and said, the only way to get that repaired is through surgery. So I ended up having surgery on the shoulder to repair the supraspinatus in May of 2017. She also told me that she felt that there might be some tears like in the bicep tendon, which she couldn't make out from the MRI, but once she's in, if she sees anything, then she'll go ahead and repair it. So there was a tear in the bicep tendon as well. So I had that surgery. I started therapy. Post-surgery, I started therapy in like 3 weeks after surgery, 2.5, 3 weeks.
So we're like May, June?
At the end of May is when I started. So May 11th was my surgery. At the end of May I started rehab. And I did that till December. So for almost 6 months, it started out with twice a week initially, then went to once a week, then once every 2 weeks. But there were certain parts of my shoulder that I was still having pain with, like this motion right here. So when I had my 6-month visit with my doctor, she's like, well, shoulders take up to about a year. So just keep doing the therapy. So I did, and then in May, I had my 1-year follow-up. And I was having the same issues, right? Like I felt like it was the same as it was before the surgery. So she's like, well, maybe we should get a post-op MRI just to make sure that everything is, there's no new damage. So I ended up having an MRI done in May of this year. Found out, yeah, there's no damage. It just sometimes, the response that I got was, well, some shoulders just take longer to heal. So she suggested, because there was no new damage, that maybe if we had like an ultrasound guided cortisone shot, and then go back into therapy and just work on like certain movements. So I had that done in June. I had the shot in June, and I felt relief because the shot was taking place, right? But and then I started therapy again. But after the effect of that shot kind of wore off, I was kind of back in the same situation. So that's when I met with, I actually met with Dr. Craner and Dr. Hensel for something unrelated to my shoulder, but I asked, I just had a conversation about, hey, I had this surgery, having this pain,
This is a year and a half since you went into your family doctor for the first time.
Yes.
Over a year past surgery.
Over a year past surgery, yes.
Still having these.
Still having this issue. So Dr. Hensel had me do a couple of things in my office actually when they came to see me. And he's like, yeah, based on what you're telling us, we can definitely help, because everything that I've learned in therapy is you just gotta strengthen the shoulder, strengthen the shoulder, strengthen the shoulder. But what these guys are saying is, now I think you definitely need to lengthen the process, right? Like you want to lengthen, not necessarily strengthen and constrict. So to me, in my mind, that makes sense. So I've been coming now this is my second full week. So I've been here for 2 weeks, 4 sessions, and I feel, I was telling you inside, right, like 25-30% better than I was when I first started here. And I'm seeing that I can move my arms, that I can move my shoulder and my arm differently than I was before. And I still have pain at certain points, but I'm able to go further to get to that point, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's kind of my story with that. The one thing that we never concentrated in therapy was, strengthening the lat part, which again, doesn't make sense to me why we didn't, but we didn't. I was also having issues with my neck. I felt the need to just adjust all the time, and then it was coming down into my arm, into the middle finger. So the middle finger, I still have that feeling right now, but it's getting a little bit better, which is, it feels like it's sore, like bruised, but it's not. And from my conversation with Dr. Hensel, everything is connected. So it may not, the issue may not necessarily be stemming from here or my shoulder. It could be coming from anywhere down here. So those are the things that we're working on right now.
Gotcha. Do you think you could put a number on that year and a half before you came into the office, from your first visit with your doctor all the way after surgery, all the rehab? Could you put a % improvement number, would you say?
I feel like now, so there was things that I just could not do before surgery. So for example, like if you had me put my arm to the side right here and you wanted me to hold like a 5-pound weight, it was hard for me to just keep that arm up. After surgery, that wasn't an issue. I could do that. So in total, I probably feel like, 50% better. Having said that, though, that after starting here in the last like 2 weeks or so, I feel, from the time that I started here, I probably feel about 30% better. And part of that is we're not just working on just this shoulder right here. We're working on other things, and that's helped me. I feel like that's what's helped me more.
Gotcha. So our full body approach has
Oh God, yeah. I mean
has improved.
absolutely, yeah. Like I said, I was having issues with I was telling Dr. Hensel that when I work out, especially like when I'm on the elliptical, my right foot, I could probably tell to the minute, about 8 minutes into my workout, I would start feeling this foot going numb. And the big toe, again, felt like it was always bruised or whatnot. Just that exercise that he showed me with the lacrosse ball, just rolling on that, it's loosened things up down there quite a bit. So yeah, this whole body approach makes sense, and I don't know why more people don't do that. And it's helped me tremendously. So I'm looking forward to, I think I'm supposed to, my treatment plan right now is about 3 months. So I'm looking forward to the improvements that we've built on in the last 2 weeks alone.
How does your future look differently because of coming into this office?
Yeah, I mean, it allows me, I think I was telling you earlier, that I was having problems sleeping because every time I rolled to my left side, it would wake me up, the pain would wake me up. I'm able to lay on that side a lot more. Not to say that I don't feel it, but I don't feel it as much. I'm able to wake up. I'm a little bit more refreshed than before. So that's improved my my quality of life. I'm able to, I know, I'm going to be able to get back into, I like to play golf quite a bit, and that hasn't been the case over the last 2.5 years. I can tell you how many rounds I've played in those 2.5 years. So I know that's going to improve as well, and just my quality of life in general is going to improve with this approach. So I'm excited about that.
Cool.
Definitely excited about that.
So somebody that might be in your position or might be in the position that you were in the past, where they've gone traditional route, maybe even to the point of surgery, what would you say to them if they maybe saw this video or heard about the office and wanted to come in and experience it?
Yeah, what I would suggest to anybody is that, one of the things that my doctor kept saying about my shoulder pain and my neck pain and the finger, they're like, well, that's not related, right? That this pain would not have anything to do with the shoulder. And the thing that I would say is, well, everything is connected, right? This may be the symptom, but not necessarily the cause. So what you're feeling somewhere may not be the cause of your problems, right? Which I found out. So one of the things that we were concentrating on this particular, my right leg and my right foot quite a bit, and at first I didn't understand it, but it is making sense to me now, where, when we walk, we don't walk like this, right? It's the opposite, and that's where this is connected to this, and my issues that I'm feeling up here, the symptoms that I'm feeling up here, may not all be directed from the trauma that I had over here, right? So what I would suggest to anybody is, if anyone that they're talking to, if they're going the traditional route and they're not looking at the full body approach, I think that's a big mistake. It's definitely worth exploring the option of looking at how your body's truly connected, and understand that things that you may be experiencing in one part may not be coming from that part. So to have the approach of the full body approach is definitely the way to go.
So for the longest time, it's been traditional medicine versus chiropractic and functional medicine and things like that. Do you think there's kind of like a harmonious area to where both can work together on a person?
Absolutely,
like
I think. Yeah, I mean, I think in my case, one of the things that my surgeon said was that type of tear that I had, she's like, you could have done therapy for the next 20 years and that wasn't going to fix you. I mean, and there's some point, right, where traditional approaches have to kick in, right, to fix a tear like that. But once you've addressed that surgically, then to rehab is, I think they definitely need to do a better job in the therapy regimen of introducing, the full body approach rather than just strengthening.
Do you think that by loosening and putting length back into the muscles is allowing you to naturally strengthen the areas that need to be strengthened?
Absolutely, yeah, because, like I said, I just feel better. I'm able to, in the past I was always like, I just felt like I was always tense. Like I said, I'm always, adjusting things, cracking things here and there, which I don't have to do as much anymore. So, and that's just short time of being here, so I feel like a lot of the videos that are on YouTube for Active Edge, right, I've been able to use those approaches at home on the days that I'm not here. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next few months. It's been a long time since I've felt good, to be able to get out of bed pain-free is something that I haven't experienced in the last 2.5 years.
Is that refreshing?
Absolutely, yeah. Because, who wants to do that day in, day out? And I don't want to, the other thing that I'm not interested in doing, which I, let my surgeon know, my therapist know, I also let Dr. Hensel know, is I don't want to I don't want to rely on medicine. I don't want to take a pill all the time. I don't want to keep going and having cortisone shots or take painkillers or take ibuprofen on a daily basis just so that I'm not feeling the pain. So, yeah, it definitely is refreshing to be able to do that and not feel that pain naturally, I guess.
And be hopeful.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right, cool. Last question.
Yeah.
Do you think that being here has helped you teach yourself and learn things for yourself that you can take better care of your health?
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Understanding exactly, and now I'll be honest, right? I'm not gonna sit there and read all the medical journals and all that stuff to see exactly how everything is connected. But one thing that I know for sure is that the body's connected as a whole, right? And so I can't continue to focus on the areas of pain while ignoring the other parts, right? So, but before if it hurts here, then you massage this, right? That may not necessarily be the cause of it. And so it's opened up my eyes about that, yeah, quite a bit. And like I said, I think the tutorials or the videos that they have on YouTube, it's helped quite a bit. I'm able to go out and just explore other things that we haven't even talked about, right? To see, well, yeah, it's not. I'm not looking to just fix this, and this, if that makes any sense, right? So yeah, I think meeting Dr. Craner and Dr. Hensel, I'm very hopeful of my outcome, and I'm excited about getting older. Otherwise, it was like, at one point I kind of reserved the fact that, all right, if this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to be. People tell you, well, once you have surgery, that you may not have the same range of motion, which I kind of accepted, right? But the pain is something that should have gone away by now. And maybe all shoulders are different, but like I said, I feel a whole lot better in the last 2 weeks than I have in a long time, so I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the next few months.
All right, so remember to like our YouTube channel, subscribe down below, click the little yellow bell for updates on when we post new videos, and have a great day. Talk to you soon.